What a pleasure it is for us to talk about our wonderful daughter who has been the light of our life from the very start. We have such wonderful memories of her.
Well, as a child, delightful, good little girl, funny, talented. She started at Stephen Wise Free Synagogue preschool when she was 3. That planted the seed of Judaism and possibly the rabbinate. Her rabbi was Rabbi Sally Priesand, as well as Rabbi Ed Klein, but it was a very normal situation for the kids at Stephen Wise Free Synagogue to grow up with a female rabbi and a female cantor.
Rabbi Priesand was a role model for Melinda because she saw that a woman could be a rabbi, a pastor, a scholar, and that was something which I think had a great influence on her. But the interesting part is that she was probably the first generation that never experienced a synagogue where there wasn't a woman in the clergy.
Mazel tov, Melinda. I can hardly believe that 10 years have already gone by since you first came to Shaari Emeth. I always hear good things about what you have been doing. As you know, I was the assistant rabbi at Stephen Wise Free Synagogue when you were growing up. And we gave you at that time a very special Hebrew name, Moriel Emunah Metukah. Moriel means God is my teacher. And of course, when we study Torah, to which you have devoted your life, we learn what it is that God would have us do and be. Emunah means faith. It comes from the word aman, which means worker. In Judaism, what we do is more important than what we say and often than what we believe. And metukah is sweet. You have the sweetness of our tradition has enriched your life even as it has enriched the lives of those you serve. So you have indeed fulfilled the meaning of your name, the hopes we had for you when you began your journey in Judaism. Moriel Emunah Metukah.
A few years later, she started Sunday school, and that was very, very good experience. And then a little bit later on, she joined their youth group, made some wonderful friends, and became quite active.
When she reached 13, she didn't feel that she wanted a big party bat mitzvah. And so she waited until she was 16 when she was the president of Crafty. And she decided that she would have her bat mitzvah at Camp Eisner on a weekend when the Crafty people were meeting. And that was really her congregation.
Having been your childhood rabbi and now seeing all that you have become and your service to Judaism and the Jewish people fills me with a great deal of pride. Both you and your brother grew up in that first generation of children who had women as rabbis, and so you never doubted whether or not you could be a rabbi. That makes me feel great because I am very proud of the fact that by opening the door of ordination to women, we have made it possible for little girls to grow up knowing that they can be rabbis. So thank you for the satisfaction and pride you bring to me. In Pirkei Avot, we read, "The one in whom people delight, God delights." I am certain that God is rejoicing this night, and so am I. All the best.
I was president 10 years ago. I helped supervise, if you will, the selection process and Melinda's hiring, and I helped her become acquainted with our congregation. The things that we wanted to have a rabbi help with 10 years ago, I wanted to see how we're doing. One of which was get new families involved, new younger families involved in the temple. I think we've done that, in my opinion. We wanted an emphasis on ELC and the very young people. That has clearly happened. I think the youth group is excellent. I think the attendance in the post-confirmand classes is higher than it has ever been. So these were things that we as a congregation wanted to emphasize, and I think over the 10 years we've done that. We wanted to emphasize working in the community. We have been involved in and hosted several of the Three Faith dialogues with the Clergy Association. The Saturday night sheltering is a success. It's something that was started as part of the Clergy Association, and we've been involved since the beginning. And we have half a dozen to a dozen people here on very cold nights, and I think that's something as a congregation we should be very proud of. On a personal note, I've always felt close. I've had a very good relationship with Rabbi Panken. We've always been able to be quite frank, and I don't always agree with her on everything, but we always see each other's opinion and when we work things out, and I think she's been a great asset. Rabbi Panken, Mazel Tov, and many more years here.
She has made my cantorate come alive. She has brought Shabbat Simriyah to our congregation with musicians. She has brought in Kabbalat Shabbat, which I love to do. But the best thing, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, is to harmonize with a rabbi. And it's wonderful, and it's so genuine, and it just lifts me up even more. I'm going to share a line from Glenn Cohn that he said when he got married. I'm lucky, well, I'm one of the luckiest cantors in the world to have a rabbi like Melinda Panken to work with, because she is really a wonderful, wonderful human being, a mensch, a great rabbi, and a real good friend.
I don't know if there was one moment. I think it's a matter of, over the years, her finding great satisfaction in studying Judaism and then eventually teaching it and mentoring other people who will become rabbis, have become rabbis, and I just think maybe there was a calling here.
The summer going into my third year of rabbinical school, I had an opportunity to be a part of a mentoring program. And I remember that Rabbi Larry Raphael, when he first told me I would be working with Rabbi Panken, said, "You guys are so much alike. You're going to have such a good time with her. She went to Brandeis too. You guys will just have a wonderful summer together." So I was really looking forward to it, and he was absolutely right. Going into my summer with Rabbi Panken, I had a very limited idea of what it was to be a rabbi. I thought you had to be very serious all the time, and that you had to always have no emotion and no feelings and be very scholarly. And not that Rabbi Panken's not, but what impressed me the most about her is from the start she was real. She was a real three-dimensional human being, and I realized I could be that too as a rabbi. She was such a huge part of helping me determine what the foundation of my rabbinate was going to be. I'm forever, forever grateful to her for that.
I was fortunate enough to have my bat mitzvah within the first year that Rabbi Panken came to Shaari Emeth. Thanks to Rabbi Panken, I had such a love for Jewish learning that I just couldn't stop. After bat mitzvah, I continued on with mini course, eventually confirmation, and then to post-confirmation. So going away to school, it was a new and challenging opportunity, and I really struggled in the beginning to find my Jewish self, to really come to my Jewish identity at college. And with thanks to the rabbi coming home and frequently talking to her, she really helped me figure out what I wanted to do, who I was. And you know, after my first 2 years at school, I decided to become a Jewish studies major, in which I continued and graduated. And I knew that as soon as I graduated, I wanted to go to Israel, give back to the community. And that being said, I also learned that one day I would love to become a rabbi. It was an amazing experience growing up and seeing the wonders of having a woman rabbi, especially Rabbi Panken, and to know that one day I may have the opportunity to do the same thing. It's really empowering and inspirational. Thank you, Rabbi Panken, for everything you have done for me. I wish you many more years of health, happiness, and success. Mazel tov.
One of the things that I like best about Temple Shaari Emeth and the Early Learning Center is the opportunities that my family has to give back to the community. I think it's very important to teach our boys about being good people, tikkun olam, and tzedakah, but I never thought that we would be the people on the receiving end. And then in January, after being sick for a few months, I was hospitalized for 8 days with a case of severe atypical pneumonia. My parents were in Florida for the winter, and my husband works in New York City, long hours, and I really didn't know what I was going to do in terms of taking care of the kids and also taking care of myself. The minute I checked into the hospital, I was overcome with just so many acts of kindness from everybody in the Shaari Emeth community, particularly Rabbi Panken. Rabbi Panken texted me every day. She called me every day. She came to visit me. She brought books filled with blessings to say when you're sick. She said prayers for me at Shabbat services. She went above and beyond anything that I could have imagined. She took Ethan to birthday parties. She offered to babysit the kids. She drove Ethan home from school. I really can't say enough about the kindness that really she has shown my entire family. I would like to wish you, on behalf of my entire family, a very heartfelt mazel tov on your 10-year anniversary here, and I would like to wish you many, many more years leading this wonderful congregation.
I will tell you that I've watched Rabbi Panken do some incredible work with some incredible families through some very rough times in their lives, some very, very sad tragedies, and she has been there in the wee hours of the morning, and I just want to say that this is why Rabbi Panken is who she is. She is just a very, very special person, caring, warm, and it's just a pleasure to see.
When the time came to go to college, we looked with her at a number of colleges, and when she got to Brandeis, she took the tour and she fell in love with Brandeis. She applied early admission, she was admitted, and had a wonderful time in her college career. Made some very good friends, one of whom is now the U.S. ambassador to the State of Israel.
Melinda, congratulations on 10 years at Shaari Emeth. We really wish we could be there with you to celebrate.
Melinda, your congregants at Shaari Emeth and Manalapan are fortunate to have had your wisdom, your leadership, your guidance, and your love for the last 10 years. May they have them for many, many more. Congratulations.
We love you.
Mazel
tov.
I do believe that Stephen Wise Free Synagogue in the very young years and then Brandeis were the bookends that solidified her decision-making and helped her enter the rabbinate. There was also one summer, and I think this is important, where she interned at New York Hospital, New York Presbyterian Hospital, and actually stood in open heart surgery with a very well-known doctor. And I think doing this chaplaincy program was very important and influenced her to this day.
Oddly enough, all the time I have people coming up to me and saying, you know, you remind me of my rabbi. And I say, could it be Rabbi Panken in Manalapan, New Jersey? And they always say, yes, how did you know? And I know because she and I are just so similar, which is one of the greatest compliments I could ever be paid, because she really is one of our best. Mazel tov, Rabbi Panken, congratulations, and may you be blessed in every next step of your journey.
Rabbi Panken, it is a joy and a delight to work with you. The religious school wouldn't be nearly as successful as it is without your support.
It's
been a pleasure to work with you for the last 10 years, both in youth and in the ELC, and much of the ELC's success is due to your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rabbi Panken, for all your support for me and for my staff. Mazel tov on your 10 years.
Congratulations and mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Rabbi Panken!
Mazel tov, Rabbi Panken!
Mazel tov, Rabbi Panken. Many, many more years of good health and bringing mazel to this incredible congregation and to you and your family.
Mazel tov, Melinda.
We love you and we are so proud of you.